Welcome to the 1212 portal with your host, Marie. I'm very excited to do this one, actually, because I have been really feeling a lot of stuff to do with this portal energy coming up to it. And today, now we land on the portal day. Yeah, it's been a little bit of a sludgy start, but I'm going to get into that, the Gospel of Marie, as to what I think is going on in the energies. But it's in complete alignment with actually what I've been intuitively being told to bring through anyway, which is very much to do with the Avalon energies and the Egypt energies. So Avalon, aka Glastonbury, for those that don't know, Avalon is about the deep dive into the womb energy. It's very divine feminine. It's very sort of like into the earth. Whereas Egypt is very much stargates and portals and things like that. And Egypt is very much the fire, whereas Avalon is very much the water. Now, for some years now, this energy has been building to do with the connection between Avalon and Egypt. And that's when I first got the message that the two need to go together. They are indeed sacred counterparts. And if you go to Avalon now, so many people are walking around with angst, and there's a lot of Egypt chatter going on because the two worlds are coming together. So there's a definite power charge connection, especially over the month of December, especially on the 1212 portal, because the 1212 portal is all about union. It's about the divine masculine and feminine coming together, which is obviously the water and the fire, as above, so below, whichever way you want to look at it, the opposing forces coming into balance. Now, balance has been a key word of mine for some months now as we work with Ma'at frequencies, as we've worked with Ptah and Sekhmet. Balance is key, and that is what's enabled us to walk through the portal to anchoring this brand new timeline in, which is exactly what this is all about. So let's get stuck into it, right? Because let's just start off with the fact that we're in a little bit of a new moon sandwich, because the 1st of December was the new moon, and on the 30th of December we have another new moon. So here we are in the middle. Full moon is on Sunday. It's kind of like a bit of a divine sandwich right now to do with the moons. So moon, as we know, is all about manifestation. And moon energy is all about the inner world, right? And then obviously solar energy is all about that out there. So again, there's another polar opposite. There's another opposing forces which brings balance, the sun and the moon energy. And we've been working a lot with the solar energy because I've just been in Egypt and we're doing a lot of Sekhmet sharing and everything like that. But the balance is very apparent, and I'm just going to go into it a little bit because we're going to be going into the temple classroom, which is the 1212 portal meeting today. So if you get to see this, a ping on your reminder brain that 1212 portal is usually a live stream, but this time I'm actually doing the temple classroom meeting, and it's going to be the alchemy of Avalon and Egypt, right? And it's going to be talking about the energies and frequencies of how they mirror each other, and if we bring them into our being, it brings an immense power of balance and soothing and oneness and wholesomeness. So I'm going to be bringing that through in the temple classroom on this 1212 portal, which is all about that, right? So there's no coincidence that Avalon and Egypt are really coming together big time, like now, you know what I mean, as we move gently into the next new earth timeline. And I say gently because it's all about ease, flow and grace. We put down our shields and our swords because I wrote something a while ago, you know, where does the warrior go after the war is done? It's like now it's all about ease, flow and grace, like cohesiveness, you know, just flow, you know what I mean? Not having to like fight your way to the front, as it were, you know? So now, trusting in the divine feminine. Now, let's talk about that first, right? So I equate this, like I was in a very powerful healing session yesterday, and what came through my body as it spoke and the channel that I got was my spine. Okay, so the spine is obviously very divine masculine because the spine is very much to do with a support and structure, and we know that is the divine masculine, and it's also very much Osiris as well because the Jed is about stability. It's a symbol. It's something they use for electricity, all sorts of things. But if you see it on the hieroglyphs, the Jed is all about stability. The pharaoh will always be holding it. The Jed pillar is all about the spine. So it kind of like, yeah, you'll go down a wormhole, but it'll cross-pollinate to structure and support, right? Stability. Then we have the divine feminine waters, which just flow. They just flow. And we have to trust in that flow. We have to trust in the divine feminine because the divine feminine is all about the mysteries. We don't know the answers to the questions, whereas the divine masculine always knows the answers to the questions. And it's very much like X plus Y equals this. This is what we're doing. doing. Now that's very sort of like, okay, matter of fact and quite rigid, but the realness of it is we've got to let go of that and allow the divine feminine to come into the flow and just allow her to lead the way. But we have to trust in the divine feminine, because when you're leading and you're walking and you're navigating your path through your eyes, this is where it can go so wrong. But we are now leading and navigating our path through our faith, which means we're allowing the divine feminine to take the wheel, to step in, because she knows the way. We need to chill out and relax and trust her that she knows the way, and just allow her flow of waters to come like spinal fluid up the spine and kind of like support the functionality of what the spine does with all its vertebrae that move and everything like that. So you see, she brings fluidity to the spine so it can have mobility. Okay, but otherwise the spine will just break and it'll be rigid. So that's quite a good analogy actually, to bring those two together. So that's where we're at right now. And this is this union within. It's so powerful. So what I've written here on my pad that I just have to share with you, falling into her misty depths, okay? The mysteries and trusting in the way forward, letting go of the need to know, trusting that she knows the way. So now we can stop working so hard and just go, okay, we're good. You know what I mean? And there's the trust and faith is a knowing. Belief comes from the mental body. And I've always said that the trust and faith is the absolute foundation of everything that we need to manifest. The belief is the secondary, because we need to be able to vision it, because that's a mental construct. Do you know what I mean? So that is kind of like where we're at with the 12-12 portal is these two worlds are coming together. And what's so interesting about this balance that we're experiencing is 12, obviously it's a 3. So that is creation. So we have the divine masculine and divine feminine, and then harmony, because it's the triad, it's the twin flame triad. Osiris and Isis, okay, divine masculine balance. The result of that is Horus, which is all about harmony, right? And balance and everything like that. And a triangle is symbolic of balance. So that's where we're at right now, okay? So now moving into the numerology of the 12-12 portal. So if we add up 12 plus 12, okay, and 2024, it comes to 14. Break that down, it's a 5. 5 is all about transformation and travel. So you're about to get your skates on and we're about to propel onto the next level to go into something completely different. Allow December to hold you in a sacred vessel. I'm calling in Ceridwen now, okay? She is Maiden Mother Crone, and she's a goddess as well as she's kind of like a crone as well, an elder. But whichever way you connect with her, she brings this sacred vessel of her cauldron of you. I mean, imagine yourself being held in this cauldron, okay? The transformative waters or the transformative potions of Ceridwen, where you can just like deep dive into her cauldron magic and just be held. Did you know that the cauldron is actually more ancient than the actual chalice, the Holy Grail? Did you know that? That's why I just love Ceridwen, because she's like, it's just so ancient and it's just so been there forever vibe. You know what I mean? So we have the energies of Ceridwen just holding us in this vessel. Very, very divine feminine, right? And with that, we want to just immerse. I use the word immersion, immerse into the waters, because December, new moon, we're in the middle. I don't really feel and sense in my being that there's much to do, only to be so safely held and so lovingly held that you feel safe enough to just let go and go into the void, which is where everything is. So, I mean, even today, I'm going to share with you what happened with me today. Gospel of Marie. Been feeling absolutely incredible these past days, just creating, just feel like a completely different person since I got back from Egypt. But today on the 12-12, I woke up and I was like, oh, feel a bit funky today. Do you know what I mean? Feel a bit out of sorts, as it were. So anyway, went upstairs, created a brand new altar for my Avalon portal. So Merlin's been talking to me and everything like that. And then I found myself just feeling really overly anxious. And then all of a sudden, I just felt like almost like a balloon pop moment where all this emotion started coming out. And I'm still feeling it run now, but I think I've initially burst the balloon so I could get the tears a flowing. And I cried and I cried and I cried. Now my mind's going mental to try and pick up what it's about because it wants to put a label on it. And there was nothing. It was like, no, we're not doing that. We're just releasing this emotion. And what I believe that was all about, because I couldn't and I wouldn't, because nothing really fit, even though my mind wanted it to fit. There was no coat hook to hang it on. It was just emotion. And I just felt this energy of just like, well, you know, this has just been a whole year of releasing, a whole year of transforming, a whole year of everything. So as we float into the month of December, do I need to do anything with this? No, I actually think I just need to go and do that a few more times. And because we've done all the hard work, right? So we are at the final parts of just allowing the transformation to really come into fruition. And that's it and that's all. That's it and that's all. And also as well, no more hard work with the ancestors. I felt that very, very strongly in the last couple of days. You know what I mean? We now move together as one. Okay, so the ancestors are with me, my ancient and my most recent. And it's like now, I mean, we can, look, you can keep ancestral healing. You're always going to find something. You can keep healing yourself. In fact, you're always going to find something. But at some point, you've got to step off the hamster wheel, the healing hamster wheel. And I believe that time is now, because we have to choose something else, something different. So my altars now are looking very, very different, because now I'm actually just choosing joy, being, the fun stuff. All of a sudden life has become very simple, and so have my altars, because I don't need all of those layers now, because it's done. So I'm calling it for myself. How does that feel if you did the same? You know what I mean? So that is how I feel. So now, inspiration and creation, this is my last point. Inspiration and creation, acting without thought. Instinct means embodied, right? And I actually spoke about this the other day. Did I do it in a video? Anyway, let me share it again. So now, inspiration and creation. So inspiration is all about Ceridwen. It's all about Alwyn and everything like that. But it's all about alchemy. It's all the same thing. Going to get into that in the temple classroom. So now, acting without thought is instinct. So I went through a moment where I was giving an offering to Sekhmet when I was in Egypt. And prior to that, when it had happened before, I'd sat with it, I'd questioned it, I checked whether it was okay with mother. Is it okay if I do this? And then I went and did it. This time, when I was in Egypt, I just did it. And then afterwards got scared and thought, oh my God, did I just disrespect then? And I sat with her and I said, Mother Sekhmet, never do I want to disrespect. I just went ahead and did that. Was that okay? Apologies if it wasn't. And she just said, instinct, my dear, instinct. And that is exactly what it was. She basically said, you acted without thought. It's an animal instinct, which means it's just a knowing. So I'm now operating from my faith, okay, and my instinct, than opposed to my belief and my intuition. It's a deeper sense of that. And she said, that means that you've embodied what you've been working on. So doesn't that make sense? So now I really want to chuck into your cauldron mix there, really, really being like, opening your awareness now. Don't think about it. Open your awareness of just being more instinctive rather than, maybe intuitive, and sitting with it just straight off the bat. That's the embodiment. That is the union. Okay. As above, so below. That is living in the heart, light being in physical body, job done, moving together, ancestors all together. We're all not fragmented. It's all one. It's all one. So I'm going to leave that there with you guys, because I have a very special announcement. Marie's been beaving away, opening up brand new portals, and I have a brand new offering to share with you on the Temple Classroom. And if you miss it, you'll see it on the recording. And if you miss it, you'll see it online, because I'll be talking about it ever such a lot. So come and enjoy the Egypt and the Avalon frequencies tonight in the temple. Union is upon us. Let's float in the waters and ignite our fires, and then just, enjoy the balance of that. Anyway, thank you for watching, peeps, and I will see you later on. Peace.